YouTube, we're back. 2025 is here. This is my first video for JTV showing you guys my training sequence as we roll out, celebrated the New Year's on the strip. What were you doing on New Year's, J-Mac?
Home with the little ones, being wholesome.
I actually got to watch the fireworks show, which is the first time I ever actually filmed. I filmed the whole 5 minutes, by the way. I said 3 times this is the grand finale, and it was actually kept going. So, but we're gonna do some delts today. You guys seen this a million times, but I'm gonna focus on about 4 different movements as we lead into another year. I always talk about prioritizing your schedule, your workouts, and this is kind of a kickstart of how I kind of just, listen, I train consistently. You know, I've been doing like 7 days a week, but to be honest, since the holiday, meaning Christmas time, around that time, I've scaled back a little bit and I've now taken some days off. I actually took, I think, 4 or 5 days in a row off, but I'm going to try to be on a schedule to transform my body into a little better physique as we roll into March. We get to the Arnold Classic. I'm setting certain timelines of my schedule, and obviously April is a huge time for me as I promote 2 contests, plus I'm in Germany for the FIBO, and then we roll into May, and as you know, it's competitive season, a lot of contests this year. I'll be talking a lot about competition scene and who's new and coming up and who's performing. You know, we have the Arnold Classic first on the list, and then of course we roll into all the other shows, a lot of new shows, Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro. We'll bring you guys along for a couple of these events through the channel. I'll be vlogging stuff. We're here at Fit Club. This is the one closest to the strip. Gonna do some delts. I'll probably roll through, explain a couple things for each exercise. A lot of B-roll wrong side, so let's get started. Couple warm-up sets here, starting with 2 plates aside. This is a Nautilus machine. This is something that I don't get to use as much when I'm training at the other gyms, so I like to try the different equipment as I switch different gyms. Kind of unique thing in Vegas is we get to train on all different equipment as we travel gym to gym. I'm going up a little bit in the weight right now. This feels pretty good. What's kind of nice about this machine is when we go through the motion, it actually comes together a little bit. So you really get a lot of the front delt, the side delt, the rear delt. You know, that's the one thing about when I started back in 91 training, when I was 18, we didn't have a lot of machines that now dictate almost the movement. So when we talk about development and we talk about Schwarzenegger's time versus our time, we definitely have a lot more functionality to our training, meaning we have a lot of variations that we can do that also don't hinder the joints as bad. You know, you don't have that pain. And I know a lot of people are working through shoulder pain or shoulder injuries. You've got to be conscious of that, and you really shouldn't do the exercise that hurts so much unless every exercise hurts. But remember, you can always focus on cables and side laterals and those kind of things too. So we're going to focus on 10 or 12 reps. Okay, little normal grip here. I could do an inside grip, but I'm going to focus more on this and kind of go through the motion. Nothing full extension. I'm just allowing myself to keep constant tension on the delts. So a lot of stretching in between sets. A lot of the time I'll do this kind of stretch. Sometimes put the elbow against a door jamb, but really just trying to keep everything pliable. This is hard enough. I know a lot of bodybuilders that can't actually put their arms behind their back. I always could though, no matter how big I was. So we're gonna focus on doing, once again, the dumbbell lateral, okay? So I do these a little different. Okay, I kind of do like a front raise and a side raise at the same time. So I'm gonna do these actually seated today. Kind of just coming up, okay, and getting like almost like a front raise and a side lateral at the same time. Don't ask me why, I feel it the best. I'm gonna start with 35, see how that feels, get a little feel for it. And once again, 10 or 12 reps. We're doing 3 of these, okay? We're going right in now. We're not doing any warm-up sets, no feel sets, just right into the exercise. You know, we'll see, maybe 3, maybe 4, we'll see. This feels a little light, so. Now, normally I don't start with presses. I actually start with side laterals to kind of pre-exhaust, but I'm switching things up a little bit for the new year. Okay, so about parallel to the floor. Little swing, not afraid to admit that. Okay, good blood right there. With side laterals, now there's a lot of variations of this. Cables, dumbbells, machine, all work pretty much the same focus as the side deltoid. Now there's 3 heads to the delts, the front, the side, the rear. We're gonna get into all those heads. You know, we're getting a little bit of, I think, everything with each exercise, but we're gonna try to isolate, especially in the rear movements. All right, so like we talk about exercises, I kind of go by touch and go to see how I'm feeling that day. Everything is a bit instinctive. And I think that's how training really should be, depending on what your output is that day, how much stress you're under, your rest time, the food intake. There's a lot of variables that come into the best way you can possibly train. And when I was training at full capacity, when I was my biggest, trained for Olympias, Arnold's, other victories, I really was honed in on not missing any beat to what my success would be in the gym. So I find myself now battling real life adversity with time management, with business, with travel, relationships, things that sometimes cause you to distract, especially with the holidays. So we're gonna get into set number 2. These are sets that count, so I went up by 5 pounds, and let's roll with it. I'm shooting for 10 on this. I lied, that was 12. Exercise number 3, we're gonna do a front raise. Now you see me do these with a bar, cables, we do it with rope sometimes. We are gonna do an incline platform and do dumbbell raises, okay? So I may pyramid, we'll see. Might stick to the same weight. Normally I do around a 60 or 70 pound barbell, like the shorter bars. Chest is gonna be at the top, okay? The lower pec is gonna sit here. We're gonna come up parallel to the floor. That is my goal, is each rep, okay? Now maybe a little pause here. I'm gonna try to pause just a little bit and up, okay? At least 10 reps. All right, so 35 each arm. See how this feels. Remember, the chest has to be at a good point and we're parallel to the floor. Little hold right there. Great burn. Now sometimes coming too high, you're gonna feel this in your trap. So really focus on feeling it in the front delt. It's a very good isolation movement. So when I do these on the incline, It's less body momentum, and everyone that follows me knows I train with a lot of body momentum. So that is my third exercise, and I'm feeling pretty good. Remember, I judge my workouts by how pumped I get. And I know it sounds crazy because even when I was training at full capacity, like I never really measured my strength that much. I know sometimes you guys are looking for motivation, and sometimes that motivation comes from how strong you are and challenging yourself. But to be honest, I train by myself a lot, so I never really pushed beyond a certain threshold of how strong I was. It was always about gaining a number of reps, the volume, and working for that crazy pump. And that pump, I feel there's a lot of factors, you know, mostly the food, I feel like, recovery, rest. I feel like that's gonna get you the best pump. I mean, if you're obviously weaker and you have no pump, you're feeling tired, it's probably a sign of overtraining or lack of motivation. And, you know, there's a lot of ways to get yourself more motivated that I talk about, whether it's the time you train, the schedule you train on, the gyms you train at, the time of day you train at, you know, your sleep pattern, your food, a lot of things. So you have to be conscious of all that stuff. So we're gonna move to the next exercise, which I'll probably do a rear fly movement. So I lied, I'm probably gonna do more than 4 movements. Normally I do behind the back cable exercise, but I'm gonna do this rear pec deck, which is very common in the gym, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And then we'll do maybe one more rear delt exercise. Ideally, if the cable crossover is not taken, I'll do my famous reverse fly. I'm kind of looking around the gym right now and just seeing, okay, what do we got for equipment here, and for shoulders, something that maybe I haven't used in a minute. But I really like this hammer strength reverse pec deck, so let's hit that. If I would have to say one of the body parts that I've lost the most since I was competitive bodybuilding is definitely my rear delts, and that comes with a lot of fullness. So with this movement, I'm gonna keep the seat really high. Now that's something different from all my other movements. I want to keep myself up enough, and I'm actually gonna use this. Sometimes I do the position like this depending on how I feel, but today I'm actually gonna hold these handles. Like I said, I'm gonna jack that seat up a little higher, and it's just pretty much as the machine flows, okay? These handles kind of move this way, but we're gonna go back to that point, but taking the triceps out of it. So constant tension, just like a piston. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 reps. Pretty standard. Remember, either you can keep your chest against the pad, or you can come back, as long as you don't have a lot of body momentum. This is not a very strong exercise, I'll be honest. So I don't do a ton of weight. It's about it says 130 maybe. So I'll stay with that. That was my first, but I'll kind of keep that weight and get that contraction. Our final exercise for our delt training is going to be the ropes through the forehead. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get a good distance from the cable. This is a little longer rope. Get a good stagger step, okay? And I'm gonna try to pull through my forehead, okay? And this is really, my focus is the rear delt, okay? I'm not trying to work the traps, although I feel like it's gonna work a little bit of the traps, but where the focus is to kind of drag, bring those rear delts, finish it off. Now, We did 2 rear delts. We did the front raise, we did the side laterals and the presses. So I feel like those, like I said, those work the full shoulder. Although the side laterals, people look at that as the side head. I feel it works all around, but this is gonna work everything, the same thing, a little less on the front maybe. But we'll do 3 sets here, focus on about 12 or 15 reps. Now, if you notice a lot, I'll close my eyes and really try to feel the movement. That is key for me. Okay, so I often visualize the muscle working as I kind of pull. Sometimes I imagine myself on stage, even though I'll never see a stage again, like how that muscle worked when I did like the rear double or like the lat spreads, all right? Or even standing from the front. People don't realize that your rear delts, for you competitive people, whether male or female, you're gonna create that huge shoulder cap. And that takes all development of the deltoid head. So do not leave out exercises because you don't see that as much. Remember, your rear delts are as important as the side, the front, and the overall development of your deltoid. So 2 more sets here. I have a New Year's resolution every week. Hey man, keep everything flowing, like stay healthy, stay active, no let up, full cylinder. Maybe I should take up boxing. Probably good exercise. She's pretty good, this girl.
I grew up around Troy Zuccolotto.
It's a wrap for another YouTube, guys. You know what time it is, so time for a little creatine, as my scooper's probably in the bottom. My goal in 2025, J-Mac, is to get you using creatine on a daily basis.
Trying to get your video bigger.
You said it's hard to tell if you put on 20 pounds when you're 6'8". Let me dry scoop this. Right now I'm doing 10 grams a day, guys. So I'm suggesting to all my followers, add some creatine to your routine. So much research still on the most researched and proven supplement on the market for recovery, brain function, everything. So output, we do it all. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up before I do a little cardio, and then J-Mac, you're gonna be on your way. And once again, guys, thank you so much for the continuous support on YouTube. I promise this year we're gonna crush the YouTube channel. We've been doing a few more collabs, if you've seen, not necessarily on my channel, but you know, I had Sam Suet come, we did Mike the Badass, who's getting ready for the Arnold Classic, but this year will be filled with a lot of activity, but more importantly, a lot of educational content that we can continue to put out on YouTube. I'm more motivated than ever with the feedback that I get. So guys, please comment, like, you know, tell me what you like about the videos. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about your workouts, maybe your goals for 2025. I mean, as you write your goals down, they're more prone to happen, right? So if you have your kind of your mood board on, or like your bucket list or whatever you want to call it, I use my phone and I usually put notes in there. Set some goals, whether it's short-term goals, long-term goals, whatever it is. Guys, every day is a challenge. Like I said, I just said to J-Mac, I said, you know, I challenge myself every day with new opportunities and certain aspects of things that I want to achieve. So I just want to thank everyone out there. Keep pushing each other. Guys, go on YouTube, go on all the social media, like and comment to those people that you support and you follow. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, the people that have watched this front to back. Don't forget our Fans First Friday, every Friday at our Cutler Nutrition Instagram. We're giving something away. That ranges from supplements, clothing, gift cards. You know, we've done everything, fat grips. It just never ends. We do that as a thank you to everyone. If you guys aren't following all the other channels, the links are below. And once again, guys, 2025 is here. We're here at Fit Club. If you guys come to Vegas, please, this gym is an Uber ride away from every hotel on the Strip. It's literally super close. You can walk from Mandalay Bay or the W Hotel. For J-Mac and myself, guys, our first workout of the season. There'll be many, many more. And thank you guys for following along. We're out.
No mercy for you. No worries for you. That Game of Thrones. Go Cersei on you. I flip the script. I roll the dice. Don't fall asleep, cause I'm working nights. Hey.